Hello, this is Art Johnson of New World Communications, and welcome to another episode of Books for a New World. This is a series of book reviews we've been doing on books that have made a difference in our lives and increasingly in the life of our business. And the book that I'm going to be reviewing today is just an amazing book. It's called This Thing Called You by Ernest Holmes. Ernest Holmes is a founder of the religious science movement, one of just a glistening, brilliant thinker in the New Thought movement. And I'm interested in applying it to my own life and to the life of my business. And you've been seeing me do other things on Hangouts on Air. I just finished a series called Walking Through the Virtual Door. But what I've noticed is a certain kind of a hesitation, kind of a limiting, unconscious limitation of people, maybe afraid to move forward, even though this could be something really that could really help them rocket their business forward by using virtual cloud-based technology, some of which are free like this, to move their business forward. And I do classes in that. But one of the things that I'm trying, what I'm being called to do, Spirit is moving through me as me, is to really talk about the role that spirituality can play in spiritual economics. I'm not the first to talk about this, by the way, but I'm being taken up into this expression of some what I think are really some really interesting things about reality and principles at work in the universe that anyone, once they understand who they are, who they truly are, can use. They can actually work this and use this amazing force, this amazing power. It's actually tapping into the law of infinite supply. That they can use to grow their business in a phenomenally good way, help doing a world of good, and even attracting more of it. So the book itself was initially published, I think, in 1948. And it's just an amazing book by Ernest Holmes. And this edition is republished in 1990 and 2004. There have been a number of editions. It's a classic book. Norman Vincent Peale, who you know of as a New Thought person, motivational speaker, author himself, he said about this book, "I believe God was in this man, Ernest Holmes. He was in tune with the infinite." And when I read you just the introduction of that, you will get it really quickly what he's talking about. And one of the things that just reading this book to myself, and also even reading some of the words to me bodily, just resonates a certain positive energy that just flows. So you see this on the top of my, there's kind of a digital river. I use that digital river to talk about the flowing of prosperity that he talks about. And let me just read a few of the opening lines of his book that are just amazing. They're just beautiful. They're like poetry. "You, like all others, are seeking the joy of living. You wish to be needed, to be loved, to be included in the great drama of life." I'm thinking the drama of the internet. This is so cool, the internet. It's part of life. It's this life drama that's unfolding right now. "This urge is in every individual. It is in everything. The rose exists to express beauty. Root and branch conspire with nature to give birth to blossom. An artist will starve in his garret that he may chisel an angelic form from a slab of marble, compelling the unyielding substance to accept his breath of creation. Not only human beings, but everything in nature is endowed with this creative urge. When moisture is precipitated, the desert receives it with gladness and breaks forth in a song of creation. meeting the most, making the most of its brief season. It blossoms in joy, storing within its bosom the seeds of future flowering. It is impossible to escape this creative urge. Everything must meet fulfillment or perish. No man willed this so. Evolution is proof of an irresistible urge which pushes everything onward and upward. Man did not create life, he is something he lives in, from, and by it. He cannot escape life or the necessity of giving expression to it through living. In some way which you know not of, though some process which never reveals its face, life has entered into you, and with it the irresistible impulse to create. Divine intelligence has willed it so. Nor you, nor any other person, nor all the wit, science, or philosophy of man, nor the inspiration of saints or sages can change one bit of it, any more than man can arrest the eternal circuits of time, the revolutions of the planets, or the desire of the fledgling to leave its nest, to soar and sing. Wow, this is poetry. Now, what does it mean to business? Well, because one premise in this book, and I have to give credit to the church that I'm a congregant at. This isn't about religion. This is about spirituality. But I'm in a course called Beyond Limits. And one of the things I realize is that many times we're not aware. A lot of times, we have a conscious life, but 95% of our consciousness is unconscious. That there are limiting beliefs that we need to kind of look at, rescript, and make a choice about what parts of this we want to hold on to and which parts we want to let go of, and also to learn more about this idea of mind, not only my own individual mind, but the mind of the universe, the mind of this intelligence that even quantum physicists are saying is called a unified force field or unified energy field. That the old concept of empty space just filled with billiard balls or automatons just walking around is not the truth. The truth is that we're all connected. And this intelligence, you can give it whatever names that are comfortable to you. Some people react to the word God. I call it good with another zero. But once you see the way that things are just so beautifully put together, the human body and the breath that you breathe, and the way that the planets evolve, and the way that everything this spring emerges, rejuvenates itself. Once you learn about that and you look at the laws of nature, and the laws of nature in his mind are an expression of this divine intelligence. And this is a much broader conception of God that many people have had problems with. Not some white man up there in the sky making judgments on you and and sending you to hell or whatever. But the idea that everything that you see is part of this intelligence. And it's so big, yes, it's personal to you, and you feel like there's this amazing, beautiful love that is embracing you all the time, even when you're not even aware of it in what we call God's grace. Once you understand that, and that is always with you, and the place to find that is not somewhere up in heaven, but within you, it just completely ignites you, okay, with energy and good feeling. And once you align with the same good feelings, the feelings are like You know, I love this because in the 60s we talked about, I don't know about you, but the vibes that you have, how you are vibrating, how you are sending, and you know, people are saying, researchers are saying that actually the heart has, what was it, 5,000 more times, it's 5,000 more times as powerful in terms of its its actual fields of energy, not just auras, but true energy. And I've already felt that when there's some people when you walk in the room and they haven't even spoken, if they're resonating at a high frequency, I mean, they're attractive. They're attracting good. They're putting out good. Where some people are like poison. You say they haven't even opened their mouth, but you say, "Oh my goodness, I don't know what this is," but I'm staying away from it. And you can see that in the way salespeople are. If they're fearful, they're putting out some energy, which is horrible for them because they can't attract anything. And everybody wants, oh, they're scary. Everyone wants you to just flip them off. So all of this is just amazing in this book. There's some lines in this that talk about how all this works. And he says that basically there's a God power at the center of every man's being, whether you acknowledge it or not. You can say gravity doesn't exist, but you're still under the force of gravity. And he says that this intelligence is so apparent, even if you're an atheist and you say, well, I don't believe in God that way. I believe in the laws of nature. Well, it's the same thing because nature's expression is this in divine intelligence. And it says here, this here's a God power at the center of every man's being, a presence that knows neither lack, limitation, nor fear, sickness, disquiet, nor imperfection. This presence and power is at the center of all people and all things. But because everyone is an individual, he can build a wall of negative thought between himself and this perfection. This makes it difficult for the true center to come to the surface. Boy, man, I'm talking about that. Those limiting thoughts he's talking about. When this happens, the mind becomes impressed only by its external environment, which declares that impoverishment and pain must necessarily accomplish every man in his experience through life. This whole process is an activity of thought, either consciously or unconsciously entertained. The wall which keeps you from the greater good is built of mental blocks, cemented together by fear and unbelief, mixed in the mortar of negative experience. Now you are to tear down the wall, to completely destroy it. The view which this wall obstructed is now seen in all its grandeur. The sun never really stopped shining, and the river, I love this, the river of life forever flows. Having destroyed the barrier, you may now sit on the banks of this river contemplating the beauty of nature, or you may bathe in its refreshing coolness. Wow! The book, I don't want to go any more than that. This is a must read. And, you know, it's a reading and a reflection. There are, when you read it, the structure of the book, this is 16 chapters, 175 pages. And it really gets amazing is when you get to about chapter 4, and then he actually has meditations that really just help you get into that framework and help you flow that goodness inside of you from the inward out. I played this, my affairs, and what I mean, he talks about affairs. I'm relating this. This is not something that you just study in church and forget about. You say, well, you know, that's fine in church and that's all good, woo, woo. But, you know, I'm in the world of business, and business is cutthroat and, you know, dog eat dog, blah, blah, blah. He said, this relates to everything. God, or this divine intelligence, or whatever you want to call it, spirit, is everywhere present. And so you can place your affairs. I place my affairs in the hands of goodness, love, and wisdom. Wow. Can't you feel it when someone honestly cares about you, honestly loves you for who you are, and wants to help you, and help you get where you need to go, and wants to give you all the gifts that he is coming up in and through him and as him to you. So it's not just about this technology. It's all space junk if you don't use it, and if you don't have a way to flow your infinite supply, which is this spirit which created, and it creates itself, and it doesn't run out. It just keeps on coming out with infinite forms, and every time you think, you are creating something. You're creating something. Now be careful of what you think, because if you are thinking and feeling something like lack, then guess what you manifest is more lack. But on the other hand, if you learn how to use this law the right way, the law of mind, the law of infinite supply, this can be the thing, the engine. Have you ever noticed this? There's some people that see all this internet stuff, and they just seem like they have tireless energy. And it's because I think they have plugged into the source of their being. And once you do, you have endless energy. You just go on, and you can everything is just so easy, because you're not the one who's doing it. You're just the one who's basically, number one, recognizing the force. Number two, you are identifying it with as yours, as you, expressed as you. This intelligence needs us to express itself on the human plane. And what we really truly are spiritual beings having a human experience, not the other way around, not just these, walking around chunks of meat, this body here, because everything, including ourselves, there's actually more. The space is made of this pure invisible substance, which is this divine presence. The substance is, and our mind can shape that substance, and that's really important, because we create things out of our thoughts. Thoughts are things, and so what we think about limits us, or can really make us expand. And man, do I need this! It's so lovely to do this. So I place them, there with supreme confidence. I have a childlike faith and trust in good. I know there is nothing between me and that which is best. I'm filled with enthusiastic hope. I look forward to entering into the fullness of life. The greatest adventure of your life lies in your conscious use of the power. You need not believe in any particular religious system. I'm going to say that again. I'm not trying to make you a Christian or a Buddhist or Muslim or whatever or an atheist. I'm just talking about the force which is there. It's the truth, and you find it at the center of your being, in the quiet of the evening, in the stillness of the night, in the dawn of the new day, and in the midst of activity. Nothing can be more immediate or personal to you than this presence, which is everything, and without which there could be neither life nor action, except this here and now. Today, say, I am conscious that good is expressing through my thought. My mind is open to the influx of truth. I am guided, I am informed, I am guarded, I am led into pathways of peace and goodness. This is so different. I'm adding, this is my contribution. It's not just SEO. It's not just this, whether you're on Facebook or whether you're on Instagram or whether you're on Google Plus. You should be on all of them, but you need to flow good. You are good. Your truest self is good. And as soon as you align with whatever medium that you're working with, I don't care if you're standing on the street and you're just talking, or whatever way, are you just greeting someone and listening with your heart? I don't care. Even just thinking is sending energy into the planet, man. It's just man and woman. It's sending it there. And so hopefully this is getting to you and is inspiring you as much as I'm getting inspired by this book and the number of things, the number of forms that my quest or my business path is taking me. It's already, you know, manifesting itself in these book reviews of these great books. It's in courses. It's in this whole suite of low cost and no cost cloud-based technologies that can help you and groups of people get where you need to go. I can do amazing things by flowing this energy through this wonderful technology, which some people see as itself is a product of conscious evolution. That Barbara Marx Hubbard talks about the internet as as part of the noosphere, that at time, just as consciousness has evolved, it's there for bringing us together, for us to see ourselves in a different way. And really, when I first started doing internet conferencing, and I started at the same time watching all these different movies, like What the Bleep and I literally went through a kind of epiphany, a kind of a mental and spiritual transformation, where I began to experience myself not as a physical being, but as a spiritual being having a physical earth plane existence. And now I'm adding, virtual, physical world business processes, driving around, yeah, and going by the bus and meeting people here for coffee and meetups and all that. But now we can add a virtual world experience and taking nothing away. And we can even combine those in a really unique, actually, this is what you're experiencing right now is a hybrid world experience. Here, I have my feet firmly on the ground on physical Earth, or what appears to be physical Earth, and I'm coming to you over the clouds right now. So nothing is taken away. It's all additive. It's all good value, and amazing what this could do to grow your business, your congregation, or the world, to help the planet. Also, really earth-friendly. I'm not burning one drop of gas. I'm not adding one micron of pollution. I can meet with people face-to-face across the planet for free. The only thing that's stopping that is people's limitations, their unconscious thoughts. They're afraid, something's going to be taken away. It's not human. Ridiculous. Once you experience this firsthand, and I encourage you, I offer a free consultation if you're interested in experiencing this firsthand. I'll listen to you as you explore how you may want to consider using some of this technology to get where you and your group or your organization needs to go, whether it's the smallest little startup business, a solopreneur business, a small business, a nonprofit, a congregation, a government agency, an entire nation state, an entire multinational enterprise. Okay? I'm tapping into the law of infinite supply. It doesn't know any limitations. It doesn't know no. Everything is yes. Everything is good. And everything is love. Talk to you soon. I'll expect to hear from you.